I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Well, here we are with the other half of our awfully good Christmas extravaganza. And it's not like there's any shortage of entertainingly terrible Christmas movies out there that I can review. But what more could I say that hasn't already been said about films like Jingle All the Way,
Put that cookie down!
or Christmas with the Cranks, or especially the Star Wars Holiday Special? Oh, please tell me we're gonna find out more about Chewbacca's masturbating grandpa in that Han Solo origin movie. So I'm going down a road less traveled for the other Christmas review this year. And since everyone loves a good Christmas movie involving dogs, let us talk about Look Who's Talking Now. It all began in 1989 with Look Who's Talking, the tale of a single mom played by Kirstie Alley who falls in love with a tough guy cab driver played by John Travolta, while raising her baby son with the baby's inner thoughts voiced by Bruce Willis.
Put me back in! Put me back in!
And it proved to be a huge hit at the box office, which gave John Travolta's fledgling career its biggest hit in over a decade. So the cast and crew reunited a year later for the sequel, Look Who's Talking 2, with Roseanne Barr joining the cast as the voice of Mikey's newborn sister.
Yeah, whatever.
And it even inspired an ABC sitcom a year after that, called Baby Talk, which starred some feather-haired asshole named George Clooney. I don't know whatever happened to him. But that sequel only did moderately well at the box office, and that TV show got the axe after 2 seasons. So clearly this franchise needed a change for its third installment, with writer-director Amy Heckerling demoted to a co-producer, and the voices of Bruce Willis and Roseanne Barr nowhere to be heard. This time, the kids have fully gained the ability to talk, and we're instead listening to the telepathic dialogue between their 2 pet dogs, voiced by Danny DeVito and Diane Keaton. Sadly, this change in direction was not enough to save the Look Who's Talking franchise, with audiences hating this movie slightly less than the critics, and Travolta's career hitting a new low a year before Quentin Tarantino would bring it to new heights. But seeing as I love the first 2 movies so much as a child, I'm willing to give this Christmas-themed final installment another chance in the spirit of the season. Hell, maybe I'll order my parents some of those Look Who's Talking sweatshirts for the holidays, seeing as they've run out of Look Who's Talking studded leather undergarments. Man, those things sell like hotcakes during the holidays, I tell ya. So as we catch back up with the family of James and Molly Ubriaco, played again by John Travolta and Kirstie Alley, we see their kids Mikey and Julie have grown up into 2 adorable little tots, played by that little blonde kid from 7th Heaven, and a little girl who wasn't on a WB family drama, so who cares what her name is? And yes, they've now gained the ability to speak, and no longer talk to each other telepathically with adult voices. Because it'd be weird to have Bruce Willis's voice coming out of this kid's mouth.
Christmas list in September? What is that? A dog? Mikey, we've been through this 100 times.
No fucking shit, lady! Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
We see that James is going to a job interview to become the private pilot for a snooty British businesswoman named Samantha. And on the same day he lands that job, Molly loses her job as an accountant, which forces Molly to find a new job down at the mall as one of Santa's elves.
Santa doesn't want you to be a naughty girl.
Who are you, his mother?
No, I'm a Vulcan. How would you like a little death grip?
Haha, that is funny because Kirstie Alley played a Vulcan in Star Trek 2, and she also threatened to kill a child. But when Mikey comes down to make his holiday wish to the mall Santa, he finds out that this Santa is a fake.
You're a fake!
And the rest of the family decide to cheer up Mikey the best way they know how, on this special holiday edition of Lip Sync Battle.
All right, you chipmunks, ready to sing your song?
I'll say we are. Yeah, let's sing it now.
Okay, Alvin. Alvin!
Okay!
Well, no other way around it, but after 3 years of this show, I seem to have finally arrived in hell. I mean, this has to be the scene which Quentin Tarantino saw when he said to himself, "My God, how the mighty have fallen.
What do you want? You want a pizza pie?
I must save this man's career." When that doesn't work, James decides to have his son pick out the dog that he wants for Christmas, where they finally intersect with the other plot line of this movie about an orphan dog voiced by Danny DeVito. And yes, I am going to dub lines from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia into this review.
So, how did this happen?
The heck were they?
They're my masters.
They're hideous.
They look freaky as shit.
We see this dog grow from a little pup into a full-size mutt over a mere 2 goddamn months, and just as he's put in a dog pound where he's about to be put down, he leaps into the arms of little Mikey, who decides to adopt the dog and give him a name.
Rocks.
Rocks? How come rocks?
Because that's what he left all over the back seat.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I did them all. I did all the poops. I did every one of them. Because poop is funny.
But they arrive home to find out James's new boss has already bought the family a dog, a high-class poodle named Daphne, as voiced by Diane Keaton.
Oh, my. What a set of paws. Hey, Powder Puff, how about you and me nosing through the garbage together?
Ugh, what cat dragged you in?
I wouldn't touch you to scratch you.
You lousy minx. I ought to have you spayed. You sent out all the signals.
Aha, you see, I can also dub in dialogue from Batman Returns as well. I switched it up on you. And from here, the movie splits into two plot threads. On one end, we have the streetwise Rox and the snooty Daphne fighting each other for the love of the family, which inevitably leads to a romance blossoming between the two canines.
Yeah, but wait, where are the dog dishes?
We don't need no dog dishes.
I throw trash all over the ring. And then I start eating garbage.
Funny how this movie is attempting to pay homage to Lady and the Tramp, but ends up being more like Oliver and Company. He's the Billy Joel dog, she's the Bette Midler dog, and I think this movie is dog shit. And on the other end, we have Travolta's boss trying to make the moves on her new pilot and having him work for her through the Christmas season, while Kirstie Alley is left at home to worry if Travolta's cheating on her. One night, the two of them even have nightmares of each other's infidelity, and their dreams even collide with each other just so Travolta can have some sort of excuse to do one of his famous dance numbers.
I think it's one of those dreams where you know you're dreaming.
Does this mean that we can do whatever we want to do in the dream? You see that, honey? I told you they weren't real.
Because what would a kid's movie be without a joke about breast implants? 'Tis the season for fake titties. And thus lies the problem with this sequel. Because while the first two Look Who's Talkings got popular with little kids because of those talking babies, they were PG-13 rated comedies with a whole lot of stuff for adults.
And I'm not getting an abortion. Oh my God. I look like a Russ Meyer movie.
Slow down your breathing. You're not in an aerobics class.
Fuck my breathing.
But now this third installment has turned it down to a PG, and all of the edge that Amy Heckerling brought to these movies is all but gone here. Now that the two kids can actually speak like ordinary children, without any of that clever inner monologue from Bruce Willis or Roseanne Barr, then there isn't anything unique that makes these kids worth having in the movie, other than having the little girl played one-on-one with Charles Barkley in a pointless cameo. Seriously, this dream sequence has no effect on the rest of the movie. It feels like a goddamn Pepsi commercial. Hell, the two adults act less mature in this movie than the kids, with John Travolta mugging his face throughout the whole movie and acting like a goddamn man-child.
Oh, this is great. What a day. I mean, I get a job and you get a VR. They're gonna know my wife put me in this suit. I mean, it's the color of poo.
James, what? Don't tell jokes.
I'm funny.
Oh, trust me, John, anyone who's seen Old Dogs would strongly disagree with that statement. And while Kirstie Alley tries like hell to do something funny, she's mostly asked to sit around the house and cry like Lucille Ball.
Oh, well, Mother!
Also, Olympia Dukakis is back as Molly's nagging mother. That's it. That's all I wanted to say about her. I guess the actors who deserve the most credit are Danny DeVito and Diane Keaton, who add their respective charms to their vocal performances. Plus, it's amazing how much of a dark turn this movie takes near the end, as Molly and the kids drive to see their dad in the middle of a snowstorm on Christmas Eve, and end up crashing the car into a forest. And Rox is forced to defend a family from a pack of killer wolves. Like this became the sequel to The Grey all of a sudden. At the same time, James's boss tries having him to herself by shacking up in a cabin during the snowstorm, forging a fake note from the owner saying he won't come back in time for their business meeting, and cutting off the phone lines.
This is dead too. I can't miss my family's Christmas. I can't.
Oh, James, I feel absolutely ghastly about this. Scotch?
Dear God, this woman is not just your typical kids movie villain. She is a gender-reversed Harvey Weinstein. Well, baby, it's cold outside, so let's hole up in this cabin where no one can hear your screams for help, and I've unplugged the phones. Now come snuggle up with me. But other than those detours into more adult material, this is an obnoxious piece of trifle which veers between being a bad romantic comedy and being a harmless talking dog comedy. It'll give you a dose of Christmas spirit, and it's got a laugh here and there, but not much more than that. Well, at least John Travolta would put his career back on track after this shitburger, and would never go on to do any more embarrassing projects involving Christmas ever again.
I'm coming home. I got a little plan.
Hey, Tarantino, you wouldn't happen to have a part for Travolta in your new Charlie Manson movie, would you? It's the holidays, dude. Come on, help a brother out. You ever wonder how Rudolph got that red nose? That's because Rudolph has got gin blossoms from playing his favorite reindeer game, the Awfully Good Drinking Game. Take a shot or drink every time the film cuts to the dog's stretched out point of view.
How'd you like to adopt a cute little pup? Same to you, pal.
So I guess we can confirm that a dog's view of the world looks much like a Soundgarden music video. We hear the voice of a dog other than Rox or Daphne.
Hey there, Mama. On your way to Grandma's house?
It looks like a hot dog with ears.
I resent that.
I'm sorry, are we implying that German Shepherd is secretly a Nazi? Well, now we know why Frank Reynolds wanted to get rid of that Hitler dog painting which Charlie hung up on the wall.
Smug aura mocks me. It's evil, Charlie. Evil.
You spot little Julie's Charles Barkley doll. Hey Charles, how do you like this little girl's doll of you? Pretty cool, huh?
That's terrible.
Oh, come on, dude. You didn't have to make the girl cry. And take a double shot for when you see the Danny DeVito sperm entering his mother's uterus, in the tradition of the other Look Who's Talking opening credit sequences.
Come to Papa.
Ooh, I do not envy that poor female dog who has to give birth to Danny DeVito. And take another double shot when you see George Segal return for a pointless cameo. Finally! I've been spending this whole movie wondering if Kirstie Alley's deadbeat ex-boyfriend, who knocked her up in that first movie, was going to return. After all, his character is a key figure in the Look Who's Talking mythology. I was so sad that they didn't bring back that toilet with the voice of Mel Brooks from the second movie, but now I'm so happy that at least they've brought back George Segal. God bless you, George Segal. God bless us, everyone. And we're gonna skip the nudie watch this episode so that I can talk about the epic music video they play during the movie's end credits for the original song, It's Christmas, Say Noel. Where can I start with this fucking thing? Well, it's sung by a 5-year-old singer from France named Jordi, who holds the Guinness World Record for the youngest singer to have a #1 charting single at 4.5 years old with the song, It's Tough to Be a Baby. And boy, does that star power completely fail to translate into English.
Look, there is a white blanket over us. Thousands of little light above us. And for song is stand to share.
This song sounds like David After Dentist became the lead singer of C&C Music Factory. Also, the video stars not just the 2 kids from the movie, but John Travolta and Kirstie Alley as well, thanks to the magic of contractual obligation. So if there's anything worthwhile from this crappy movie, then look up this little gem on YouTube. It'll be the second worst Christmas music video you've seen, which involves John Travolta.
I'm coming home.
Seriously, John, wipe that woolly magnet hair off your damn skull. We know you're bald, and we're fine with it. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, Look Who's Talking Now can't even manage to be the best talking dog movie which stars John Travolta. And look who's receiving a rating of 3 out of 10. This year, Christmas is truly going to the dogs.
That's terrible.
I'm Jesse Shea for JoBlo.com, and as we wrap up another year of awfully good movies, I'd like to thank everyone who stuck it out with me, and hope that you have the happiest of holidays. Whether that holiday is a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a kick-ass Kwanzaa, or, since John Travolta and Kirstie Alley practice Scientology, that they have a pleasing day of blood sacrifice before the eyes of Xenu. May your body be free of Thetans, and may your altar to L. Ron Hubbard be worthy of your dear leader.
Merry Christmas, bitches!